Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sankarshan, Prabhu, don't pronounce. We make it proposed.
Prabhuji, Haribo, yeah.
Let me spotlight you. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, don't pronounce. Please accept my humble obeisances. Today, very fortunate. We welcome all of you for the today's morning program, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. And today, we are very fortunate to have His Grace Sankarshan Prabhu, and he will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 6th chapter, and verse 17. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So I would like to offer obeisances to all the Vaishnavas present here. Hare Krishna. So welcome to today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. So Prabhu, let me share the screen.
Yes, Prabhu.
Please let me know if you are able to. Prabhu, is my audio and video clear, Prabhu? Little bit.
Yes, Prabhu.
So it's stuck. This got stuck. Okay. So Prabhu, you. Okay.
If you want, I can share, Prabhuji, so you can start that.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu, you can share, Prabhuji. I think there is some issue with my sharing now. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 6th chapter, 17th verse. Yasyamev kavaya atmanam aviratam vividha vrajina samsara paritapopa tapyamanam anusavanam snapayantastaiva paraya nivrutyahi apavargam atyantikam param purushartham swayam asaditam no एवाद्रियन्ते भगवदीयत्वेनैव परिसमाप्त सर्वार्धः. Yasyam eva, in which Krishna consciousness or the nectar of devotional service, Kavayaha, the advancement of learned scholars or philosophers in spiritual life, Atmanam, the self, Aviratam, constantly, Vividha, various, Vrijina, full of sins, Samsara, in material existence, Paritapa, from miserable conditions, Upatapyamanam, suffering, Anusavanam, without stopping, Snapayantaha, bathing, Taya, by that, Eva, certainly, Paraya, great, Nirvritya, with happiness, he certainly, Apavargam, liberation, Atyantikam, uninterrupted, Parama Purusha Ardham, the best of all human achievements, Api, although, Swayam itself, Asaditam, obtained, no, not, Eva, certainly, Adriyante, endeavor to achieve, Bhagavadiyatvena eva, because of a relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Parisamapta Sarvardaha, those who have ended all kinds of material desires. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Devotees always bathe themselves in devotional service in order to be relieved from the various tribulations of material existence. By doing this, the devotees enjoy supreme bliss and liberation personified comes to serve them. Nonetheless, they do not accept that service, even if it is offered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. For the devotees, liberation, mukti, is very unimportant because having attained the Lord's transcendental loving service, they have attained everything desirable and have transcended all material desires. Purport: devotional service unto the Lord is the highest attainment for anyone desiring liberation from the tribulations of material existence. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 6.22, Yam labdhva cha param labham manyate nadhikam tatha. Gaining this, one thinks there is no greater gain. When one attains the service of the Lord, which is non different from the Lord, one does not desire anything material. Mukti means relief from material existence. Bilamangal Thakur says, Mukti Muklitanjali Sevate Sman. For a devotee, Mukti is not a very great achievement. Mukti means being situated in one's constitutional position. The constitutional position of every living being is that of the Lord's servant. Engaged in the Lord's loving service, he has already attained mukti. Consequently, a devotee does not aspire even if it is offered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Entire screen. Prabhu, I think now it is allowing to share, so I'll share the screen, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, let me know if you are able to see the screen. Uh,
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see the screen.
yeah, I'll share the verse actually. Yeah, okay. Now you are able to.
No, Prabhuji, we just see the Srimad Bhagavatam tab. Now we see the word.
Okay, now you can see. Okay, okay, right. Okay. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखय चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कथा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरतिषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पातरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langhayate girim. Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinakaranam. Shri Chaitanya. Hare Krishna. So I would like to welcome all the devotees for today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to purify myself. Um, so and also I'd like to seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas so that I speak in paramparas for the pleasure of Hari Guru and Vaishnavas. So this context we've been hearing from past few days. So the title of the chapter is the activities of Lord Rishabhadeva. Lord Rishabhadeva is the incarnation of the Supreme Lord. He's Supreme Lord himself. So, so this chapter starts with a very interesting question put by Parikshit Maharaj. What is that? He was telling that if the heart is not pure, if somebody is getting a lot of powers, say some yogic mystic powers, then there may be a chance that he may misuse it. Correct. But here, Lord Rishabhdeva, his heart is completely pure. He is Supreme Lord himself. Then why did he neglect? So, because we have seen the life of Rishabhdeva, Lord Rishabhdeva, that he was actually, although he had everything, he does not display anything, any of the power. At throughout, if you see the end of the life of Lord Rishabhdeva, he acted as if like a very mad man, like a Jadabharata, you've seen so like completely naked, hair disheveled. He was just wandering all through the places without any spruha, any external consciousness. He was completely in that. So although he had so much of material power and so many things. So Sukadeva Goswami is asking that question. Sorry, Parikshit Maharaj was asking that question. Very interesting question. Then Sukadeva Goswami, we have seen his reply. The mind. He was telling about the mind. So this mind is a very dangerous thing. It is like capturing a very dangerous animal and keep it. Although somebody who is controlling the mind, it is actually capturing a dangerous animal and then keeping it at bay. So anytime it can actually go against. So we have seen, the many examples also Sukadeva Goswami gives, like Saupari Muni. He was such a great tapasvi. Underwater he was doing so much of tapasya, so high level of realization. But because he offended a great Vaishnava Garuda, he immediately fall down, and just by seeing the mating of two fishes in the water. See, in one lecture I was hearing that most of the times we go on the road and we see the dogs, sometimes they're mating and like that. Here, such a great exalted yogi, just by seeing the mating of two fishes, he fall down because of the offense to the Vaishnava. So he was telling that this mind, it's very difficult actually, so even the so very advanced devotees also, they are always alert to the activities of the mind, how the mind is actually contemplating, what the mind is doing. They're very very alert. Why? Because this is what we have seen in previous case also. I was hearing that in one of the shows in USA, it's a live show where all the so many big people are sitting, and one person was doing some big circus with a real lion. So he brought the lion onto the stage, and then he was doing all the things. For a moment he was little inattentive, and then the lion, he actually full he his hand, it actually caught, and then it bite like anything. So many days he was in hospital. So although he was doing so much of training for the lion, so that is how the mind is very difficult. So that is why it is said that the mind always, why it is advised to always keep that in the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, because of this reason. Because that is the only place mind feels the complete happiness. In all the other places, bhukti, mukti, siddhi, kame, sakale ashant. Chaitanya Charitamrita tells, if you are a bhukti, mukti, siddhi, kame, if you are desiring of any of these things, there will be ashanti only. So that is what Sukadeva Goswami tells, and he was explaining about how Lord Rishabhadeva was, while he is wandering, there is one. king of some name Arhat. He was actually wanted to imitate Lord Rishabhdeva, and then he propounded a new so-called religion of Jainism. We hear, right. So that is actually they are considering Lord Rishabhdeva is their very like starting point. Uh, but that's a so-called atheism. Prabhupada mentions that it's an atheism because one can never imitate the Lord's activity. The same purport Prabhupada writes. See, you are trying to so much imitate the Lord. See the quality of Lord Rishabhdeva. He was passing urine and stool, and it is actually the smell. The so much of fragrance is coming for miles together. You want to imitate God, you can just imitate this, but people they cannot imitate, all the obnoxious things and all that. So it is actually we should not imitate the Supreme Lord or the great devotees. We should just follow their instructions. So this is also one of the atheistic sampradaya that came up around this one. And then he was telling that all the how the forest, there was a big forest fire happened, and then Lord Rishabdev was had left the body. In the sense, actually, he was why he was doing that. Sukadeva Goswami is telling to set an example for the yogis how to leave the body. So yogis, they may have so many powers, but they're very much wanting in the mood of a show off thing. Basically, that is how the Maya captures the yogi. Although they're doing so much of tapasya, Maya captures them so that this you can go on showing off to the people, and then he can take away the Krishna consciousness. So one lecturer I was hearing Radheshyam Prabhu used to like say, suppose for example, if we get a some yoga siddhi, say I just open my hand and then some chocolate or something come up, gold or ash or whatever, then that is so detrimental. Why? Because with that so infatuation, we'll keep going on all around the world, and then we'll keep showing off what is in my power, and we will be bereft of Krishna consciousness. So it's very dangerous to show to get these powers also. But however, devotees, they have all these powers, they will not show off actually. That is the thing. Although they have so much of power, they cannot they are not interested in all these things. Like we have an example of in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Rasikananda Brahmachari, I think. So he was one time he was so in the village. There was some yogi who was walking on the road, sorry, walking on the water. So people are all so much in awe and reverence. My God, he's walking on the water like that. By seeing all these people, Rasikananda Brahmachari, he was just laughing actually. So people are asking, why you're laughing? He said that this is not the goal of life. What he's doing is nothing. He's telling that. Oh, how can you say like that? He's doing such a great, wonderful thing. Then, in order to show them how that is such an insignificant thing, he was actually brushing with the neem stick. He took out that stick, and on top of it he stand, and then he could fly in the air all through that place, just to show them that this is not such a great thing. It is such an insignificant thing like that. So devotees have that power. And you see Prabhupada actually how he transformed the hippies to happies. He was asking one time the great magician, I think Sarkar, someone, PC Sarkar or someone. So, okay, now you're doing so many magical things. You're bringing out all the rabbit and you're showing off this, that, and all. He pointed his disciples and asked them, okay, these people, they were completely into drug addicts, so many bad things there. Now you see, their lifestyle is completely different and they are on the path of the highest perfection. Can you do this magic? He still no, Prabhupada, that is not that we cannot do. That is only you can do like that. So these cheap things, people are small thing. If some opulence people show, and people will get enamored and they think that they are the supreme Lord. Prabhupada tells that these people don't know what God is really about. Huh? So God, one time Vasudeva Datta, he was asking Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, my dear Lord, please give all the sins of all the people of this universe to me, and then please take them back home, back to God. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was simply laughing, simply smiling. He's telling that, oh, my dear Vasudeva, Even if I take away all the people back, this universe is just one small mustard seed in a big bag of so many mustard seeds, full of mustard seeds. So that is God's greatness. So many things are, so many things actually, so these people, they just don't know what God is all about. So only by hearing from Acharya one will come to know what really God about. We all know that famous thing, that when all the devotees, Bhakti Thakur disciples, they were all going to take darshan of Ananta Shesha Sai. Prabhupada just sat and then he wanted to listen to his spiritual master. Then, while after everybody came back from the darshan, Bhakti Thakur asked, "Okay, you're done with your eye exercise." He was asking. So, without understanding about God, if we just, even if we go to so many places, see so many details, we will not able to understand anything. So that is why it is very important. Shrotriyam. So Shrotriyam means one should nishta, Shrotriyam Brahma nishta. One should dedicatedly hear from the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas about the position of the Lord. Then one will come to know that what God is all about. So otherwise, people just simply think that God is very cheap. Why God is not coming in front of me? Is he or order supplier or something? So now, Sukadeva Goswami, after describing all the activities of Lord Rishabhadeva, now he is in the previous sloka, he was telling the Falashruti, those who are hearing about this great auspicious pastime, for them they will get the unalloyed devotional service to the Lord. So that is what he comes to that point, and this, on the basis of that, he actually starts this shloka. That this shloka is all about how devotees, for them it is, they don't want anything except the pure devotional service. They're just so ecstatic in the devotional service of the Lord. That is what the point he wanted to show here. And who is telling? The person who is telling is Sukadeva Goswami. He himself had a great personal realization, because he was, right from his the birth, he was actually liberated. Atma, there is a shloka, Atma Ramascha Munayo, Nirgrando api Urukrame. So he was actually that, that Atma Ramascha he is very completely satisfied. But when he heard the pastime of the Supreme Lord, that famous shloka we all know, Aho Bakiyam Stanakala Kutam Jigham Shayapaya Yadapya Sadhvi Lebe Gatim Dhatri Muchitam Tatonyam Kamva Dayalu Sharanam Rajema. So he, when he heard this shloka, that about the Lord's beauty and Lord's mercy, that the person who came with such a vengeance to kill Lord, he has given such a great position of the Lord, great position. Then who else can I turn to? I take shelter of. So this is what. So by hearing from his own father, actually he from the other devotees, and then again his own father he heard, and then he developed such a great attraction for the Lord. And then he's telling this shloka, that what actually devotees are actually hankering for. That is what he's telling. We know actually the same, one of the other example from Chaitanya Charitamrita about Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya also. He was also in the same mood of this liberation. Liberation is the topmost, and Vedanta, he was a stern Vedantist actually. So, but when he had that conversation with Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was trying to explain Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for 7 days. So he got, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after 7 days, he was telling, see, the essence of Vedanta, the Vedanta Sutras, they are so crystal clear like the sun. You no need sun, you don't need a lamp to see the sun. When the sun is risen, you automatically can see the sun. Correct. So you don't need any further explanation of Vedanta Sutra. Correct. In the sense, something which is so mysteriously covering. No, not required. Vedanta Sutra, the aphorisms are so very clear. Athato Brahma Jignasa. It's very clear. Therefore, you have taken human form of life. You should inquire about Krishna. Anandamayo Bhyasa. The jiva is eternally, in the state of ananda. So he is he's the constitutionally he's Satchit Ananda, that is. So like that, it's very very clear. But your he's telling Sarvam Bhattacharya that your this one explanations are actually covering the sun like the cloud. So then he kind of explained again. He's taken one verse and then explained in so many different ways that Sarvam Bhattacharya was firmly convinced that this is the Supreme Lord, and there is no one else in this world can actually can propose like this. So he was firmly convinced, and then he became a great devotee. Sarvam Bhattacharya, he became so wonderful devotee that one day he came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and asking, "My dear Lord, I want to edit this shloka in Bhagavata." What is the shloka? The shloka is Tattenu Kampa Susumikshamano Bhunjanamevatmakritam Vipakam Hridvagvapurvir Vidadhan Namaste Jive Tayo Mukti Pade Sadaya Bhag. So this shloka was originally told by Lord Brahma. He was telling that if somebody, when in the face of difficulties, they turn towards Krishna with heart, Hrid Vag Vapur, with heart, with words, with body, everything, he simply says thank you to Krishna, and then continuing the devotional service of the Lord. He is the right person to claim mukti. The mukti, there is a word mukti comes in this verse, correct? So he tells that I'm tired of hearing this word mukti. I don't want mukti. I want bhakti. So he wanted to cross that word bhakti. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells no, no, no. That is the word of Vyasadeva. So we should not change that word. But mukti means in Prabhupada in the purport, you see, he is telling that for a devotee, mukti is means actually to be situated in one's constitutional position. So this is mukti actually. So so here, coming back to this one, so this is how actually a devotee is, how they're actually getting out of this material existence. Because material world, it is said, it is like the three trishula of Mother Durga is actually three spokes. That three spokes are nothing but adhyatmika, adi bhautika, adi daivika kleshas. Nobody can get away from these kleshas, nobody. So Adhyatmika means what? The miseries arising from body and mind. So everybody has a great realization on this thing. So how many doctors are available in this world? For each part of the body, there is one doctor. Well, that means there are so many things that body can give a suffering actually. So one billionaire, one time he was actually asked by a reporter that, see, you've got so much of wealth and you have toured so many countries all over the world. You spent so nice times everywhere. Now, if you just tell me, when you close your eyes and tell me which is the moment that immediately come to your mind. So that billionaire was telling, see, I have had one disease. I had actually, now also I have it. The disease is when I go to urine, or when I go to stool, when when I pass stool, so much excruciating pain I will be getting just to pass urine only. He was telling that that is the only thing I remember in the entire my life. If I close my eyes, I'll get that only thing only. So that is what happens. The body can give innumerable suffering actually. And then mind, what to speak of mind? If see, people commit suicide, why? Not because they are not healthy. No, they might be healthy. Most of the suicides happens because there is something that mind is completely disturbed about. So mind can give, it is said that the mind can make heaven into hell and hell into heaven, correct? So you can have so many things. Hiranyakashipu had so many things. He had practically everyone and everything at his beck and call, but he was not happy. Why? Because the mind is not controlled. So adhyatmika means the mind and body, they can give so much of suffering. And then adi bhautika means the miseries arising from other living entities. So Prabhupada gives this example, funny example, that you see, you may be a king of the jungle like a lion or a tiger, but one small bird comes on the back of it, and then it keeps becking it. Or sometimes what happens, when the lion or tiger goes for hunt, this bird sits on the back of it, it makes a sound in such a way that all the other animals, they'll get a sign that, oh, lion and tiger are coming, and they'll run away. And then this lion and tiger, they will not get its prey. You understand? So Prabhupada tells that you may be a king of the jungle, but you see, you cannot even control it like that. So Adi Bhautika means miseries arising by so many people, so many ways. And Adi Daivika means we all know earthquakes and so many things like that. Now some people, they actually want to go away from all these things because of so much of influence, power, and in many things. They sometimes try to control all these things, but although you can control all these things, there is one thing that is for certain. What is that? Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha doshanu darshanam. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita. So we all know that story of Michael Jackson. He had 17 or 20 doctors at his beck and call, always around him. So every moment he's actually consulting all the doctors, thinking that he has to live for another 200-300 years. Actually, that is his plan. So every whatever he takes, it is actually properly tested, clinically tested by all the doctors, everything. And what happened at the 50 years only, he is just passed away. And that is also not very glorious death, because of the drug addiction and all these things he passed away. So people, they think that they can actually get away from all these things. Now all these VR, all the headsets, what is that, Apple Vision Pro, all these things, everything come, people get into that, and they think that they're in a different world, and they're actually completely oblivion to the material world. But when they take out of this, what happens? They have to lead the same thing only, right? So this is what happens. But devotees, they are actually extremely intelligent. How? Because they know where the real pleasure is. They are not foolish people to search for the pleasure outside. They are the real, because they are called connoisseurs of pleasure. Bhagavatam tells that all the people, they'll be running here and there, pillar to post, and they are trying to get something from that, that sugar cane when it is crushed. Something out of that, somebody is trying to, like that. They keep trying to extract the chewing the chewed thing. But devotees, on the other hand, they know where the exact pleasure is. That is why they look inside. They look within. What is there inside? Inside, Lord Krishna himself is there. Sarvasya jaham hridi sannivishta matta smritir gnanam apohanam. Vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedya vedanta krit veda videvacha. Krishna tells, just turn to me. I am there to give everything. But these people, they are so obstinate, they don't want to come out. So how devotees, you know what is the meaning of connoisseur? Connoisseur means what? Connoisseur means they have an extremely expert idea where the thing is. Like, say, if I say connoisseur of food, means they know where the really delicious food is available in the city. Correct? That is what. So devotees know where to turn to get the real pleasure. That is actually, that is why they bathe themselves. Snapayantam, it is said, they bathe themselves in the devotional service of the Lord in order to be relieved. Now, what is the meaning of to be relieved from the tribulations of material existence? Does that mean devotees don't get any problems? No, they get. In fact, they get more also. We have seen the lives of the great devotees. They get more and more problems. But why they are actually doing it? Because they are on a different platform. They are dealing it in a different platform. Just like if there is 100-story building is there, if a person who is at the ground floor, he looks at the building and thinks like, oh, so big building and all he thinks. But the same person, if he is going in an aeroplane and if he sees that 100-story building, it looks like a matchbox only. Does the size of the building change? No, it didn't change. Correct. But what happens? He elevated himself to a different level, that he could see that problem as nothing. Correct. So devotees have that consciousness that whatever that's happening in this life, they had this thing that my goal is different. I am not here to compete with anyone materially. That may be having, he may be having something more, I may be having something less. Somebody may have something less than me. I don't care. What I am really care, what is my real goal? My goal is actually Vaikunta Priya. So Bhagavatam tells, those who has their goal in Vaikunta, For them, actually, the hearing of the topics of the Lord is extremely relishable. So if the goal is fixed, they think that all these things are temporary. One does not construct a house in a train or a flight, correct? The train or flight is just for a transit purpose, just for a temporary purpose. So like that, similarly in this world, if somebody is not respecting, somebody is not this and all, people think that this, see, that's what some people may, they maintain lifelong vengeance. If somebody is not, at one mistake he did, and they maintain lifelong vengeance to that person. Why? Because they think that this is the all and end of all, like that. But devotees, no, these are just, temporary phase of my life. So they, and it's not that, they're just kind of doing some austerity, because they are getting some higher taste, very very higher taste in the devotional service. Just like if somebody is eating roti every day, you give him a plate of big Mahaprasadam feast, he will immediately throw away, like that. Like that, devotees, how they could actually get out of all these things is because of this reason, that when they are engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, they get all the nourishment from within the heart. For that purpose, they could actually get away all the things of this world. How somebody can do Trunadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Saishnuna, Amanina Manadena Kirtane Sadari. How somebody can be so tolerant and so humble, how somebody can do that? Because they are getting so very high pleasure there, that these things, it's so natural for them. Correct? It becomes very natural, that because they understood what is that. So now, by doing this, the devotees enjoy supreme bliss and liberation person. So now this is another thing, because we all know the Bhavananda, Brahmananda, Bhaktiananda, and Premananda. Yeah, Bhaktiananda, I think, yeah. So Bhavananda, the enjoyment of this world is like a drop in an ocean of Brahmananda, which is like liberation. Now, liberation is actually a drop in a ocean of Bhaktiyananda. So, devotees, they know, they have the realization of this thing, so they can immediately see, if they can immediately reject this offer, liberation. In the purport, Prabhupada writes, Bilamangal Thakur, he tells that Mukti Muklitanjali. What is that? Means even the Mukti, the liberation comes at the doorstep, but devotees are not interested. Sorry. So one lecture Asham Prabhu was telling that, say, okay, if one day Krishna comes and, Prabhu, you have done a lot of good thing here, so let's go to Goloka. So he has taken you to Goloka and put a chair there and tell you, now you sit and relax here. No need to do anything. Devotee will never accept that kind of proposal. He's telling that. Why? Because devotees, they just want to serve wherever they are. If even if it is Naraka, what is that sloka Lord Shiva tells to Mother Parvati, that Narayana para sarve nakutascha bibhyati swarga pavarga narakesha apitulyartha darshana. For them, heaven, hell, everything is same. Why? Because they just want to do service to the Lord, devotional service to the Lord. That's it. They don't want anything else. So, so for them, liberation is so. But still, Lord, out of His mercy, sometimes gives the liberation to devotees. But the devotees are so expert; they will utilize that aspect also in Lord's service. Just like there are different types of liberation. What are they? Sarupya, Salokya, Samipya, Sarsti, and Sayujya. Out of these five, devotees will outrightly reject Sayujya. Sayujya means what? Merging into Lord, which devotees doesn't want. Correct? So Prabhupada tells that, see, that is like a death actually. Basically, Sayujya is like what? If somebody is very deceased, and he has taken medicine, and then he is cured out of it, but he is not yet completely healthy. There is a convalescent stage in between, diseased, convalescent, and then healthy part. So this Brahma Jyoti, this liberation is basically like a convalescent stage, that zero platform, where there is no activity, no pleasure, nothing actually, no relish of the Lord's pastimes or service or nothing like that. That is the reason people who are in this Brahman platform, it is called metastable. The bhava, it's the the world is called unstable, The Brahma Jyoti is called metastable. Why it is called metastable? Because it appears that you are stable, but it is not stable. Anytime you can fall down. Bhagavatam tells that aruhe krichrena param padam tata param padam yado anadhrita ishmadangraha. So there is a shloka which tells that these people, they think that they are liberated, but why they will fall down? Because they have not tasted the honey dripping from the lotus feet of the Lord in the form of his katha, in the form of his service, in the form of his beauty, and all these things. They have not tasted it. So, but Jiva has to taste it. Jiva, by default, Jiva is in an Ananda state. It has to get that adventure, it has to get that newness. Otherwise, Jiva cannot stay there. So, he has to come down to the material platform and then search for that lacking thing in opening some hospitals, some schools, and things like that. There some selflessness service is there, so he gets some taste. Otherwise, the jiva, by default, by nature, the jiva has to get that newness, that adventure thing. Jiva has to get it. That actually comes when he is engaged in the service of the Lord. So that adventure is the devotional service itself is an adventure thing. Krishna makes sure that the devotee will not be in a comfort zone. He's always in a stretched zone only, always in a the zone of improvement, where the constant new realizations, new things will keep coming to his life. That is how devotees can keep on happily go on year after year, decade after decade. How? Because they are getting the juice of Krishna consciousness again and again and again by Krishna. If somebody is sincere, if somebody is insincere, then it is just like a stagnant phase only. They will keep complaining about, oh, why Lord is doing all these things, why this is not happening, why this person is not listening, why this, why that, all these things. But if somebody is in a sincere state, whatever comes from the Lord, whatever is thrown at him, he can see the hand of the Lord, and he can see that that's a great adventure that's coming up in my way, so let's do it like that. So he can actually take that thing, and he can be in that, because that is how Krishna works. Krishna, one nice pastime, just 1 minute I'll stay. One time, Radharani and all the Vrishabham and Kirtida Mataji, so they invited everybody to their house for some function. So the whole kitchen department actually was headed by Mother Srimati Radharani. So she wanted to serve Krishna with some delicious laddu, which she wanted to make it so with so much love. So she made that laddu, and then when all everybody was sitting and all the serving is happening, so Mother Radharani and all the Lalita Sakhi Vishaka, everybody at the back of the door, and in the slit of the door there is a small opening in the door, right? From that door they're actually looking at the Krishna's face. How Mother Radharani is looking at Krishna's face, how he will feel when when he put that laddu in his mouth. So Krishna knows that Radharani would be looking at me. So as soon as the laddu came, he put the laddu, and he put a like that, in a gesture, in a way that it is not at all delicious, like that kind of gesture he does it. And Radharani was wondering, "Arey, what happened? Have I put sugar, salt or something instead of sugar, like that?" She's immediately tell. But there was Madhumangal who is sitting next to Krishna. He's like, "Oh, Krishna, you don't like it? Let me take all the laddus from you. I will eat it," like that. So, but Krishna says, "No, no, no, it is very good. I will take it." So Radharani and all the Sakhis, they will tell that, "Oh, this Natkat Krishna, he's always like this only. He never works the normal way. That is not the case with Krishna. He always wants devotees to be in a adventurous state only, and that little. One time he was telling, Prabhuji was telling that one time all the gopis were sitting, and Krishna comes to the one of the gopis and tells, "Oh Gopi, you know what is Murari Raga?" That Gopi was very expert in music. He tells that, "No, no, no, Krishna, I know so many ragas, but I didn't know about this Murari Raga. What is that?" Then he take her ear and then twist it fully. Then that Gopi tells, "Ah." Then Krishna tells, "This is what Murari Raga is all about." He's telling that. So this is what the devotees are after. Actually, devotees are after this kind of thing. They don't want all this Shanti, Shanti, Mukti, Mukti, all these things. That is why Haridas Thakur tells that when somebody is chanting the holy names so very offenselessly and sincerely, then Krishna gives this thing, that devotees, the liberation is a byproduct of that. So devotees doesn't need all this liberation stuff. So I was telling that, although sometimes Krishna gives this liberation, that Salokya, he gives Mother Lakshmi the Salokya, but still she uses in Krishna's service. He gives Sarupya for all the Vishnu Dutas and Uddhava. Uddhava is also like same similar feature of Krishna, but they are using it in Krishna's service. He gives Sastri, the opulence, as much as Lord, to Yudhishthira Maharaj. But Yudhishthira Maharaj in the Agra Puja, he was telling Krishna is the supreme Lord. So devotees, although they get this liberation, they use it in Krishna's service. So so here again in the purport, Prabhupada tells that why can devotee can do that, because they think that this is the way. Yam labdhva cha param labham manyate nadhikam tada yasmin sthitena dukkhena guruna pi vichalyate. So Krishna tells that devotees yam labdhva cha param labham manyate nadhikam tada. They think that there is nothing better than this. That is what they think. Can anybody tell in this world, material world, they can have that kind of thing? Although he may have so much, so many things, still he cannot say this. Why? Because the heart is always longing. It's a very simple, very profound example, that the parrot in a cage, correct? So if somebody is the parrot is the real person. If you are not feeding the parrot, you are simply doing that cage polishing, then it will not satisfy oneself, right? So similarly, people in this world, they simply try to get something for this body and the mind. At best, intelligence, ego, somebody they do that, but but that is not sufficient. That is, for some point of time you could see somebody who is working 18, 20 hours for year and year after year. Why? Because he is getting some intellectual pleasure or egoistic pleasure somewhere, but that is not the that cannot sustain for long time. That is what. But devotees on the other hand, they will actually get this thing. Yam labdhva cha param labham. Gaining this one things, there is no greater gain. When one attains the service of the Lord, which is not different from the Lord, one does not desire anything material. So this is what so we have seen the same theme in all the devotees prayers. One such prayer I wanted to refer here is the Vritrasura's prayer. Vritrasura, we all know the story of Vritrasura. After the fight happened with the Indra and all, he prayed to Lord with four amazing verses. These four verses are so celebrated verses in the Bhagavatam. You can see, अहम अहम हरे तव पादैकमूल दासानुदासो भवितास्मि भूयः मन स्मरेता सुपतेर्गुणांस्ते गृणीतव कर्म करोतु काय. He's telling that, my dear Lord, will I again be able to be the servant of the eternal servants who find shelter only at your lotus feet? O Lord of my life, may I again become their servant, so that my mind may always think of your transcendental attributes, my words always glorify those attributes, and my body always engage in the loving service of your Lordship. So, this is what he's praying. And then in the next sloka, you can see he's outrightly rejecting all the things that the people of this world are hankering for. What is that? Nanakapristam nachaparameshtam न सार्वभौमं न रसाधिपत्यं न योगसिद्धिरपुनर्भवंस्ता समञ्जसात्वा विरहय्य काङ्क्षे. He's telling that, my dear Lord, I do not desire to enjoy in Dhruvaloka, the heavenly planets, or the planet where Lord Brahma resides, nor do I want to be the supreme ruler of all the earthly planets or the lower planetary system, Rasadhipatyam. I do not desire to be the master of the powers of mystic yoga, nor do I want liberation also. Apunarbhavam. Apunarbhavam means liberation, if I have to give up your lotus feet. So that is the thing. So if devotees were given an opportunity, you become a Brahma of this world or you serve the Lord, they will always, without any doubt, they will serve the Lord. The example we have seen Arjuna's case. Arjuna was given an option that either you choose Narayana Sena or me. Immediately, without a doubt, he chose Krishna. Why? Because he is of such stature. Okay, so this is the what the constant. Actually, this is a constant theme. All the devotees' prayers, we keep seeing that they could actually see that thing, because see, whatever the thing one may get, all these things are jada, and the jiva is like spiritual. Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param. Krishna tells this jiva, he is actually of spiritual nature, superior nature. He can never get happiness with the material stuff. He wants spiritual things. Correct. Just like oil and water, you put some oil on the water, they will never mix. They both are two different natures completely. So jiva has to get the happiness from the spiritual things only. So that is why the devotees, they always hanker for the Lord's service and the Lord's lotus feet, because that is where the real thing is there. That is what vastava vastu. And then in the next sloka, he tells this amazing. Ajata paksha iva mataram khaga sthanyam yatha vatsaras kshudarda priyam priyeva vishitam vishanna manora vindaksha didrukshate tvam. He's telling, my dear Lord, just like a baby birds which have not yet developed their wings always look for their mother to return and feed them, just like a small calves tied with the ropes, they await anxiously for the time of milking, when they'll be allowed to drink the milk of their mothers. Or just like a morose wife whose husband is away from home, always longs for him to return and satisfy in all respects. I always yearn for the opportunity to render direct service unto you. So there's different levels. Actually, he's telling that somebody bird, and then a cough, and then the wife. So gradually increasing the surrender, he was actually showing that thing. And then in the last sloka, he was telling that this mamottama shloka janeshu sakhyam samsara chakre brahmatasva karma vihi tvanmaye atmaja darageheshu asakta chittasya nanada bhuya. He's telling, my dear Lord, I am wandering to this world as a result of my fruitive activities. Therefore, I simply seek friendship in the association of your pious and enlightened devotees. So, one lecture I was hearing from Maras, he's telling that after many millions and billions of lifetimes, one get this opportunity to have the friendship among the devotees. So, it is not an easy thing that one easily get the friendship among the devotees. So it costed millions of lifetimes. Now, if somebody does not utilize that friendship, because that will open the doors for the eternal life. If somebody does not utilize that friendship properly, he is actually not fit to receive the mercy of, because Maharaj tells that this friendship itself is a mercy of the Lord. So to have that friendship in the association of devotees itself is a great thing one can really aspire for. So he's telling that my attachment to my body, wife, children, and home is continuing by the spell of your external energy. But I wish to be attached to them no longer. Let my mind, my consciousness, and everything I have be attached only to you. So this is the thing that devotees should aspire for. And Prabhu, I think I will conclude. I seek blessings and prayers from all the Vaishnavas that I am so much struggling with so my body and senses, and so much mind, so much troubles are there. Although these are the ideals are so crystal clear, but I am not able to progress. But I seek blessings of all the Vaishnavas that I progress towards this goal. That what I am speaking, what we are hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah. So, Prabhu, yes, Prabhuji, I think we will conclude here.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Maybe shall I stop your sharing, Prabhuji?
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji, I will stop the sharing.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the everybody will feel like how the time went on. So now everybody thought, okay, now it's only 1 hour past. Because it was so absorbing that very nectarian first times, the way you started with if the heart is not pure, so all powers can be misused. And then you started how the very great devotees are very attentive to the mind, because mind is the one that capturing the wild animal and keeping it inside. So it is like that. And you said Mukti, Mukti, Siddhi, all this give the Ashanti, but they will never give the Ashanti. And we should not imitate the great devotees and the Lord. We need to follow them. And then Siddhis are very detrimental to Krishna consciousness. And there, even devotees have the Siddhis, but they are not interested to show. Then you have given example of like Rashananda Brahmachari showing. Then also Prabhupada converting the hippies to happies. That is very like great Siddhi, not possible with the other Siddhis. And
Correct.
him is very important. And very example, you mentioned that Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, when his disciples went to see the temples, but Prabhupada sitting with him to hear. So then after they returned, he said, "You have good exercise."
So,
I
yeah,
So hearing is like there, you said hearing is very important. And there, like in the purport, Prabhupada mentioned, Mukti means situated in one's constitutional position. And then mind can make the hell into heaven and heaven into hell. And there are unlimited sufferings, like which are like threefold miseries. And even if you control the threefold miseries, still you cannot get away from the Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi. And the devotees always look for inside because happiness is not outside, it is inside. Like because Krishna is inside. Sarvasya Chaham Hridayam.
correct.
The difference between seeing the 100-story building from the ground and from the top, like helicopter. So that's like even the devotees get the sufferings, but they don't care because they are tasting the higher nectar, and they see from the different plane. And even if devotees get their problem, they are not bothered as their goal is clearly set, Vaikunta, which is very high. So seeing the material things does not look, I mean, any significant or important. The devotees are in higher taste, so due to their devotional service, and then you give the different levels of Ananda, Bhavananda, Brahmananda, Bhaktiananda, and Premananda. And then Lord Shiva telling to Mother Parvati. So for devotees, life is also very blissful because they are always engaged in the devotional service. And devotees does not want Sahaja Mukti out of five. So devotees outrightly reject the Sahaja Mukti because there is no service. So even those, because that's not our conscious position, they will fall down to release the uh, Ananda. The devotees are Lord's. Devotees see Lord's hand in everything, like whether it is a plain or pleasure. So then you are given nice pastime of Radharani seeing Krishna eating laddu. Then Krishna like does not directly say anything. Like he's always. So Krishna does not want like Santi's, devotees does not want Santi or just Mukti. So even if the devotees get the Muktis, like Salakya Mukti, how the Mother Lakshmi is engaged in Lord's serving feet, and then Sarupya Mukti, so Uddhava engaged, Sashti, Yudhishthira Maharaj, like that. Then how the Prabhupada gave example of parrot cage example. So if you simply keep polishing the cage, so whoever is inside, like a parrot is dying because that's not highest important. So if one attains the service of the Lord, they don't want anything. So at the end, you have given the like our Tasura prayers from Srimad Bhagavatam 6:11, 24 to 27, how like different gradations, and then how he does not want anything else, even though he's in the Asura body. So there is told that like Arjuna chose the Lord Krishna over the Narayana Sena because they want the Krishna, they don't want anything else. So we are spiritual beings, so we never get happiness with the material engagements. And then like Uttasura, the last but one I think. So different gradations like baby waiting for the mother to feed. Sorry, not baby bird. Baby bird waiting for the mother to feed. The calf waiting for the mother to come, and the end like a wife waiting for the husband. So different gradations. And it was a very nice exemplification and all these things like it was really nectar, and I felt like how come 1 hour passed so fast.
It's great music.
Yes, bro, as elder I can, but like everybody, as everybody knows, so you are very nicely engaged and elevated. So devotees lines are already unmuted, and they can unmute and ask any question. And by seeing your face only, like we'll get a lot of happy because your face is so. Yes, Mataji, one.
Also, bro, I want your face.
Hare Krishna, devotees lines are unmuted. Yes, Mataji, Radha Rama.
It was come. Huh. Like as Prabhu has said, how the time passed and from where to where you took us. Very nice, Prabhu, amazing, no words. And also Haribol to Venkatamna Prabhu, the way he summarized the whole thing.
Oh,
Maybe he
yeah,
has got
amazing, Mother. Jai, jai.
maybe he has got like
Oh,
Nakula Sahadev, maybe he has got something which he can record. And he's just given amazing, Prabhu. Amazing.
Prabhu, really amazing, Prabhu. I was so amazed.
Yeah, yeah. Dandat pranams for both of you.
Like I have poor memory, so I to recollect later, I will note down Mataji.
What, Prabhu, you say poor memory, then what we all should say?
Same that, Mataji.
Glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai, jai.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, you have said one verse, Aham Vedyo, that verse in which this is coming, Prabhu, in Bhagavad Gita.
Which was, Prabhuji? Yam labdhavacha param labham.
Yes, Prabhu.
That is 6.22.
No, 6.22,
6.22, Prabhu. In the purport, Prabhupada writes, right? 6.22. Yam labdhavacha param labham manyate nadhikam tada. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhu. One more, Prabhu. You have said that one he wanted to always serve the lotus feet of God. He don't want to have a liberation. For that, you said one verse, Aham Vedyo, exactly.
That is Bhagavad Gita, Prabhu. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishta.
No, not that one, Prabhu. That one Rishi, you told that he don't want to have a liberation. He wants to serve every time at the lotus feet of God. You said
Vritrasura.
two verses. Yes, bro. You said two verses.
Prabhu. Vritrasuras, I think 6.11.24, Prabhu.
6.11.24.
6.24. Yes, those four slokas are the, you can say celebrated slokas in Bhagavatam. They're very, very famous slokas. So, yeah.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. I think there is a comment from Saraswati Mataji. Haribol Dandat Pranams Prabhuji. Thanks for the wonderful teachings. Jai Natkat Krishna, the most nourishing part of lecture. Prem Priya Mataji, Prabhu, thank you Prabhu, for
Jai,
the
jai, jai. So, it is said that every 45 minutes, Krishna performs a different pastime. So it is said. So it is never static in spiritual world, always dynamic. So
Hare
it's just if we keep hearing, it will be like a I think we will forget this world. That is how it is. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare
Sankarshan
Krishna, Sankarshan, Nitai, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Prabhu,
Thank you for a very nice class,
Dandat, Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you were in the beginning of the class, you were mentioning about this aspect of mind and playing the tricks, and also you quoted about Saburi, Maharishi, and other great sages,
Correct.
how they all became victim to the mind. Prabhuji, here, if when such great yogis are, from that position, when they are falling, what hope you have, Prabhuji?
The
Because
hope is
our
there.
determination is not as strong as theirs.
Bro, that's what, bro. I think one lecture I was hearing a similar kind of thing answered. See, all we need to do is we need to be sincere, bro. In the sense, so Prabhuji Maharaj was telling that, okay, we need to put our sincere effort. Okay, even if we fall down, we get up and put the sincere effort. And then again, see, it is very difficult to control the mind, that we all know. It's impossible actually. But the story, famous story we heard about the sparrow and the Garuda story, right? So the sparrow wanted to dry up the ocean, which is impossible. Similarly, a jiva wants to control the mind, impossible. But sparrow, because he got the mercy of Garuda, he actually could get his eggs back. So similarly, a jiva, if he is sincerely trying, sincerely serving the devotees and the spiritual master and the Lord, then the mercy flows, and with that mercy, one will be able to get up. And also that's what. So and also it is like proportional. If somebody gets the taste slowly, eventually, if somebody is getting the taste at the higher levels, then automatically it will be easy to get away from this thing, Prabhu. That is what I understood, Prabhu, from that. Yeah,
Thank you, Prabhuji. Sure.
yeah, yes, Prabhu. Yeah,
When you mentioned about that, mystic power, why devotees don't ask there for mystic power, in one, I think it's one of Prabhupada's disciples' class.
mm.
So he was asking this question: why, Prabhupada was actually not really behind this mystic power, and he asked the attendees, okay, let's say that you have the mystic power of, there are Ashtasiddhi, no, let's say that there are
Correct,
Ashtasiddhi, and
correct.
let's say that you get one of the Siddhi, which is,
Mm.
like, you can go to any place like that. So what you would do? And one of the attending he replied back saying that, okay, I will go and rob the bank and build a temple for Prabhupada.
Okay.
Yeah, he was telling, I was exactly, expecting this type of reply. And then he said,
Uh-huh.
how dangerous it would be for our spiritual,
Yeah.
progress. You do that.
Okay.
So where
Yeah.
is our effort? If you are getting everything by
Mm.
Siddhi,
Correct,
where is
correct.
our effort,
Yes.
and where you will be developing that relationship, and where you will get the relationship. And on top of that,
That's
I will say that through the other city or one of the city, I will build a temple. But moment that you get that power,
huh.
that power, will lead you to different direction.
Correct,
So
correct.
let's not pray for any siddhi and sincerely do our daily sadhana and develop our practice and read Bhagavatam. That is good enough for us and do the preaching. So that will give
Correct.
enough. So it was very nice. When you said, I thought of sharing it.
The hands will be itching, bro. If we get any siddhi, I need to show up. I need to show. See, now without any siddhis only, we are so much infected with this virus of proprietorship, controllership, and enjoyership. Now, if somebody gets that siddhi, my God, it's been, yeah, it will
Hare
be,
Krishna, Dandavat
yeah, yeah.
Pranam.
Mataji,
Thanks for the
Dandavat.
wonderful nectar, Prabhu. This 1 hour passed off so gracefully. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you so much. Please pray for me, Mataji. Yeah. So,
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. I
Prabhuji, Hare
think
Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. There are two Sankarshans talking, so we don't know whom to get attracted to.
Yeah.
So very wonderful. Thank you so much.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Thank you. So,
So due to time constraint, we can end the
The
class.
person whose video is turned down is the person who has to be glorified.
no. Sorry, Prabhu.
I am telling to Prasanna Balaram. The Sankar who is having his video turned on is the person who has to be glorified.
Uh, Prabhu, I was still remembering your class, Prabhu, from last Sunday. So many points you have told, and I was keep contemplating on it. Jai, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. Very nectarian class today. I relished the whole class, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Please,
Thank you.
Prabhu, please pray for me. Hare Krishna.
Okay, bro, you can end the class here with
Yes,
Vaishnavi.
Prabhu, we can. So, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय
Thank you also, Prabhu. And thanks all devotees for being. So we can again
प्रभु थैंक यू सो मच
get